We in trouble, y'all. I know some of y'all don't believe it, but we are in trouble.
What?
I'm gonna show you something that you just ain't gonna believe. That just maybe the Biden administration is cuckoo for messing with Putin. I say just about anything. Hello, everyone. Thank you for stopping by today. I know y'all are tired of hearing all this stuff that's going on in the world and what's going on with our so-called leaders up there in Washington. Y'all, I'm going to show y'all today some very disturbing information about the Biden administration. Everybody knows what's going on with the pipeline. Even the mainstream media news is reporting on it. So they let you know that it's got to be very important now. I'm telling you, something's going to happen. Putin is pissed off about that pipeline. Do y'all know who did it? Do you know who did it? Well, I'm about to show y'all possibility. I'm going to say allegedly. But I'm going to play some Tucker Carlson, y'all. And I'm going to tell you something, too. That is going to come straight from the horse's mouth. Straight from the jackass mouth, y'all. It's going to come straight from his mouth. The Biden administration. A lot of y'all sleeping, don't believe none of this stuff, don't believe Biden can do no wrong, don't believe our politicians are crooked and they can't do no wrong, they are for the people. How can you say that when our economy is messed up? It's messed up. These people we got running our country, it's crazy. I think so. Let me say allegedly. Something's got to be wrong with them. I'm so pissed off. I want y'all to pay close attention and watch the entire video because you don't want to miss this. Not today, you don't. You don't want to miss it. Make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe if this is your first time here on my channel. You don't want to miss what I got to say today. And I want y'all to share this video because the people that are sleeping, that's in a coma, and act like they don't know what's going on in the world, they need to see this video right here. Okay. And go on over there to TimberlilyCreations.com to support my channel. Buy yourself a mug while you watch me act crazy, okay? And go to CookingWithSandraFaye.com. All right. I'm going to play these clips, y'all, little by little, because I can't play it all at once, okay? Because I may have to comment afterwards just a little bit. But I want y'all to tell me what y'all think down in the comment section. Okay, here we go. Come on, Tucker Carlson, man. Come on.
Great environmental catastrophes of our time is unfolding tonight off the coast of Denmark. The Nord Stream pipelines, which are enormous Russian-owned conduits that carry natural gas from Russia to Western Europe, have been breached. As we speak, Nord Stream 1 and Nord Stream 2 are pouring millions of cubic meters of natural gas into the Baltic Sea. Pictures from the air, which you can now see on your screen, show a toxic bubble field more than half a mile wide. You can only guess at how many marine mammals are being killed right now, countless. But the lasting damage may be to the atmosphere. Natural gas is comprised of up to 90% methane. Methane, as Joe Biden has often told you, is the key driver of global warming, which is, of course, an existential threat to humanity and the planet. So if you're worried about climate change, what just happened to the Nord Stream pipelines is as close to the apocalypse as we have ever come.
Y'all hear that? They so concerned about the air, the pollution, nature, trying to go green. But somebody blows up the pipeline. All those fumes coming out, killing the poor little sea creatures, just dying. But yet they concerned. They ain't too concerned if you're blowing it up. They are not too concerned. Okay, come on.
So the question is, how did this happen? And it turns out it was not an accident. At the very same time that leaks in these pipelines were detected, Swedish officials recorded 2 powerful undersea explosions, each one of which was equivalent to hundreds of pounds of TNT. Nothing in nature can account for that. Almost immediately, the pipelines began leaking in 3 separate places. So there's only one explanation for what happened. This was an act of industrial terrorism.
And I totally agree, y'all. I totally agree. They was trying to say it was a drone flew over and dropped a bomb. A drone? Come on now. They said this was under the water, okay? Under the water. A drone's going under the water now. That's what they do now. Is that what they do? Put it on down there in the comment section. Do you see how slick they are? Do you believe what Tucker is saying? Because I sure do. Y'all, it gets worse. It gets worse. Okay, listen to this now. Listen.
That was very obvious to the Prime Minister of Poland, and he wasted no time in saying so. Watch.
Today, we are also dealing with an act of sabotage. We do not know the details of what happened yet, but we can clearly see that it is an act of sabotage, an act that probably marks the next stage in the escalation of the situation we are dealing with in Ukraine.
We can clearly see, he said, this was an act of sabotage, an act of terrorism. Well, yes, we can see that. So the question is who did it, and of course the prime suspect is obvious. It would be the same man who caused domestic inflation here in the U.S. and stole the 2016 election from Hillary Clinton. That'd be Vladimir V. Putin.
Whoop, there it is. The same man. The same man that messed up our economy. The same man. You know what happened back in, well, let me say allegedly. Because, you know, YouTube, TikTok, all of them, you know, Instagram, Facebook, they don't like you to say what happened in 2020. They don't like for you to say it, okay? Even though we're not blind, okay? We got eyes we can see. We saw what was going on. They don't want you to mention it. You better not. You're going to be cut. Channel deleted. Now, I didn't say this. Tucker Carlson said it. YouTube. Tucker Carlson said it. I just played it. I don't know, y'all. Probably get cut. I don't know. Probably get a strike. We'll see. We will see. Okay. Moving right along.
The Washington Post got right to it. Putin, they declared, is now weaponizing the Nord Stream pipelines. According to the Canadian ambassador to the UN, Vladimir Putin has decided to use, quote, pollution as an act of war. Progressive Twitter strongly endorsed this conclusion. Putin did it. And that makes sense until you thought about it for just a moment. Vladimir Putin may be evil. They tell us that he is evil. But is he stupid? Probably isn't stupid. And yet, and here's the strange part, if you are Vladimir Putin, you would have to be a suicidal moron to blow up your own energy pipelines. That's the one thing you would never do.
And he's right. I'm sorry, y'all, because when I made that video the other day, I thought Putin did it. Because I thought maybe he was trying to stop the fuel from, you know, going to other countries. But I didn't know it actually belonged to Russia. You know, Putin was in control of those pipelines. I didn't know. I should have done my homework first. But Putin would not blow up his own pipelines for his people. I know y'all talk a lot about Putin, and a lot of people don't like him. But he does good sometimes for his people, though. Even though he calling them up, you know, to fight. Y'all, this is going to be World War III. How many of y'all think so? Put it on down in the comment section. Okay? Putin didn't do this. Putin did not do this, y'all. He's not going to blow up his own stuff, okay? He's not going to do it. He's not. I don't care what y'all said, some of y'all. All right. Continue on.
Natural gas pipelines are the main source of your power and your wealth, and most critically, your leverage over other countries. Europe needs your energy, now more than ever with winter approaching. If you can't deliver that energy, then countries like Germany have no need to pay attention to what you want. You're in the middle of a war, an all-hands-on-deck war, so you need all the leverage you can get. Under these circumstances, there is no chance you would blow up Nord Stream 1 or 2. Not now, obviously. In fact, it's so obvious that even our famously dim Secretary of State, Tony Blinken, seemed to acknowledge it. Sabotaging Nord Stream, he said today, is, quote, clearly in no one's interest. Right, but really only half right. It is true that blowing up Nord Stream does not help Vladimir Putin. He would not do that. Why would he? But that doesn't mean that other countries wouldn't consider doing it. They would consider it, and we know they have considered it because at least one of them has said so in public.
And who do you think that is? Who do you think said it in public? Who? Do I really have to tell y'all? Well, y'all about to see who is bold enough to say it way ahead of time, even before it happened. So this is very suspicious, y'all. Very. Okay, listen.
In early February, less than 3 weeks before the war in Ukraine began, Joe Biden suggested on camera that he might take out these pipelines. Watch.
If Russia invades, that means tanks or troops crossing the border of Ukraine again. Then there will be no longer a Nord Stream 2. We will bring an end to it.
How will you do that exactly, since the project and control of the project is within Germany's control?
We will, I promise you, we'll be able to do it.
I promise you, we will be able to do it. This was back in February, y'all, when Putin was talking about entering Ukraine. Sorry. Back in February, before this even started, they knew what they were going to do. You know, because Putin stopped us, U.S., from getting fuel from them in other countries who's trying to help Ukraine. So this is payback. This fool said it on live TV. So how do you think Putin feels? Don't you think Putin is going to hear this? Whether I'm playing it or somebody else is playing it, it's on Fox News, y'all. Don't you think Putin is pissed off? Don't you think he got a plan? Something is about to happen big. Keep on watching. Whew.
Notice how he phrased that. And he's the president. Doesn't phrase things by accident, particularly when he's reading off cards. He didn't say, I will pause the delivery of gas from Russia to Germany. He said, there won't be a Nord Stream 2. We'll put an end to it. We'll take it out. We'll blow it up. How will you do this? He was asked. I promise you we will be able to do it. They thought this through. And yet those watching, very much including us, didn't take Biden seriously when he said it. This is the president who has declared climate change the most pressing emergency in the history of the world. This is the man who lectures you about using a wood stove or driving an SUV because of its emissions. This is the guy who spent billions trying to mitigate cow flatulence because methane. Would that guy really blow up a methane pipeline in the middle of the Baltic Sea? It was hard to imagine. That would be an unimaginably reckless act. That would be the kind of thing you would do if you wanted to start a nuclear war. It would be insane.
Yeah. That's got to be insane. That's got to be a crazy person, someone who's not in their right mind. So you're trying to tell me Biden did this? Allegedly. Let me say allegedly. It ain't just Biden. It's all the other crooked Democrats, okay? Probably some rhinos in there too, Republicans. They did this, blew it up. Did they? Oh. We're in trouble, y'all. I'm sorry if y'all hear the lawnmowers in the back, that, you know, the people are here cutting the grass and weed eating and stuff like that. But, y'all, we're in trouble. We're in trouble. I know people going to start running to the grocery store buying food, rice, beans, water, everything. Because God knows what's about to happen. God knows. Continue on. Almost done, y'all. Stay with me now. Stay with me. Because there's a reason behind everything.
And yet, in retrospect, it's obvious they were thinking about this because Joe Biden wasn't the only person to suggest it. Toria Nuland at the State Department said pretty much the very same thing. Nuland is a lifelong war cheerleader. She worked to bring about the Iraq invasion, never apologized, kept going. She helped engineer the coup that overthrew the Ukrainian government some years back. So capable, clearly she's capable of anything. But environmental terrorism, even for Toria Nuland, that seemed too much, too extreme. And yet here she is in January.
With regard to Nord Stream 2, we continue to have very strong and clear conversations with our German allies, and I want to be clear with you today. if Russia invades Ukraine, one way or another, Nord Stream 2 will not move forward.
One way or the other, we'll stop Nord Stream.
There's two people. I don't know who this woman is. I've never heard of her. She said it too. So that lets me know that's evidence, y'all. There's evidence that this was planned. If Putin invades Ukraine, which he did, we're going to sabotage the Nord Stream 1 and 2 pipelines. And they try to say it wasn't being used. Oh, yes, it was. They just weren't giving us no gas, no natural gas. They just weren't giving us. It was being used, for the Russian people and other places, the people who are on Russia's side. But it was being used, so that's a lie. And this woman has just proved it herself, what she said about being sabotaged. She didn't actually say the word, but that's what she meant. Her and Biden both. That's what they meant. Okay, almost done. Good Lord. Lord have mercy, y'all. We're in trouble.
Now, looking back, those words seem chilling 8 months later as natural gas pours into the Baltic Sea and into the atmosphere. So you have to ask, could the Biden administration really do something like this? We can't say for sure. We don't know for sure. We can tell you that close allies of the Biden White House believe they certainly did do it. Radek Sikorski is a Polish politician. He's chairman of the EU-USA delegation in the European Parliament. He's connected. He's also the husband of regime stenographer Ann Applebaum of The Atlantic magazine. Sikorski is so close to Joe Biden that he's got a picture of the two of them together in his Twitter profile. So when the pipelines blew up, Sikorski responded immediately, and here's what he wrote. "Thank you, USA." So once again, did the Biden administration really do this? It's hard to believe. Given that it's an atrocity, it's effectively an act of terrorism, we don't want to make that accusation.
The guy said, "Thank you" to Biden. Tucker asked, is it hard to believe that the Biden administration actually did this? I don't think it's hard to believe. I don't. You got to think about who we got in office, who's running the U.S. right now. It's not hard to believe. This guy just confirmed it too. That's 3 people. Joe Biden, the lady, and then this dude. Thank you, Joe Biden. What does that mean? What does that mean? Thank you, Joe Biden. For what just happened? Thank you. Ooh. Okay. Come on.
But we should tell you that, maybe not coincidentally, today a brand new pipeline was unveiled, a pipeline that carries non-Russian natural gas in roughly the same area as Nord Streams 1 and 2. This is called the Baltic Pipe. It was inaugurated in Poland. It will carry natural gas from Norway through Denmark to Poland and other countries nearby. And it's likely to do very well since now it has less competition.
Oh. A new pipeline. That's okay, Russia. We don't need your gas, your natural gas. We got a new, very new pipeline just opened up. So we're going to get rid of yours. And we're going to make your people suffer like you made us suffer. New pipeline. That's what it's all about, y'all. What you think Putin's going to do to that new pipeline? What do you think he's going to do? What would you do if you was Putin? Put it on down there in the comment section. Okay, last thing, y'all. Last thing right here.
If they did this, this will be one of the craziest, most destructive things any American administration has ever done. But it would also be totally consistent with what they do. What do? They destroy. These people build nothing, not one thing. Instead, they tear down and they desecrate, from historic statues to the Constitution to energy infrastructure. And no one in Congress is trying to stop any of it. They're just preparing for the inevitable fallout. Tonight, the Senate just advanced a spending bill with $35 million for the Department of Energy to, quote, prepare for and respond to potential nuclear and radiological incidents in Ukraine. What? The spending bill also brings the total U.S. expenditure on Ukraine, the war, but also funding its government and energy for Ukraine, to $67 billion on the eve of what could be a massive economic disruption. Here, to our economy, $67 billion. How much is that? Well, it's more than Russia's entire military budget last year. And Congress is expected to fully pass the bill later this week, with Republicans nodding along like the zombies they are. What will be the effect of this? Every action has a reaction, equal and opposite. Blow up the Nord Stream pipelines? Okay, we've entered a new phase, one in which the United States is directly at war with the largest nuclear power in the world. Doesn't mean it'll go nuclear immediately, but it does suggest there could be consequences. If we actually blew up the Nord Stream pipelines, why wouldn't Russia sever undersea internet cables? What would happen if they did that? What would happen if banks in London couldn't communicate with banks in New York? Just that one piece of it, leaving aside its potential effects on our power grid. But let's just say the banks couldn't communicate with each other for one day. What would the economic effect of that be? Oh, it would cascade downward into your house. We could have an actual collapse. We could wind up very quickly in third world conditions. Those are the stakes. Have the people behind this, the geniuses like Toria Nuland, considered the effects? Maybe they have. Maybe that was the point.
Exactly. Maybe that was the point, y'all. So you see, we're still trying to give money to Ukraine. They're trying to pass a bill to give more money. Lots of money. What did he say? 6 or 7 billion? That's more than Russia's military army made this year. The budget for them. And we're trying to give them all this money. And United States, American citizens are suffering. But we're going to give all this money to Ukraine. There's something wrong with this picture. Do you hear me, far left people? There's something wrong. Why would a country do this and let its own people suffer, but give all this money to a neo-Nazi country? Ukraine, yes, neo-Nazi. That's what Putin was trying to get rid of, okay? Why? And then we just might get our internet knocked out, y'all. Oh, Putin's got a plan. He has a plan. That's what they're trying to do. Elon Musk is trying to do is what? SpaceX or whatever. That satellite internet. Just in case Putin knocks out our internet. Banks can't communicate. Businesses can't communicate. You can't go online. I can't be making no videos. I can't be doing nothing. Nobody can be doing nothing. Paying bills or nothing. Just knocked out. You know how long it's going to take to fix that? Do you know? I'm telling y'all, crooked as can be. But yeah, these people still love Biden. They still love his dirty draws. Now I'm going to say all of this is allegedly, YouTube. Allegedly. But you know what, though? The evidence points to Joe Biden. I'm not saying he's guilty, because you're innocent until proven guilty. But we know that the evidence points to Biden. It came out of the horse's mouth, like I keep saying. He said it. He said it. That other guy said it, and that lady. All right? So that's too much evidence. They're going to use this against Joe Biden, y'all. Y'all still going to vote for him. This is what I want to know. Left people, you still going to vote for Joe Biden after this. Yeah, they still going to vote for him, y'all. And we might be blown off the earth, off the map. They still going to vote for him. Woo. Let me get out of here. Go down in that comment section. Tell me what y'all think about this whole thing. Tell me what you think. Put it on down there. And on that note, y'all. And on that note, make sure that you come back to Sandfay Unscripted. I want to cry.